Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. If you are a return visitor, I welcome you back. If this is your first time coming to one of our videos, welcome. Today we're going to play Slime Rancher. Or I will say we're going to try again. This is actually not the first time I've tried to play Slime Rancher for you guys. I actually tried to record a video last night and things not saved the way they should have. But because I'm still learning to use my recording software, so because this time we're on our laptop, so it's a little different. So I'm gonna go to load. I'm gonna find the game that I started and I'm going to delete it. Delete. And I'm going to go back and start a new game. I'm going to call it YouTube game, so you guys can follow along in case everything records correctly and I can come back to this world. And then I'm gonna do it on adventure mode. Slime Rancher is this really cool indie game that I love to play. For those of you who don't know what Slime Rancher is, and there's 3 different modes: adventure, casual, and rush. Casual, there's no enemies to fight, and then rush, there's also no enemies. It's just straight up like how much money can you make in 5 days. So, but we're gonna do adventure so you guys can get the full experience, and I'm going to choose a little puddle slime as our icon. So we're going to confirm. If you have never played Slime Rancher, I definitely suggest picking it up on Steam. It's one of my favorite games. And it's one of those that's got it's kind of a time sucker. Like, you start it and you don't realize how long you've been at it until you look back at the clock and it's 2 in the morning. Oops. So, you know, I think that, you know, the same thing with this game as with Minecraft. It's got a day cycle, and I think that makes it really hard to keep track of the time. So let's get started. Pick up these carrots. Go snatch that slime. This is a pink slime. There's lots and lots of different types of slimes. But the pink slimes are what they start you off with because they eat anything and everything. And they're abundant. So pick them up. I can't pick that up because my inventory's full. Put these 2 little slimes in here. They're supposed to, I thought they started you with more than 2. Aha. There's the other one. So the thing about Slime Rancher that, like, my only complaint about this game, and I will stress that, it is my only complaint. You only get 4 inventory slots, and instead of upgrading so you can have more inventory slots, you just upgrade them so you can carry more. So I think by the end of the game you can carry 100 units of 4 unique items, but you can't carry more than that. So right now I've got, 4 inventory slots. You can upgrade to get a water backpack or a water tank for your backpack. Oh, there's another little chicken. Which, let's go open our star mail and that will explain it. So, hold on. First, this lovely lady right here, that's Beatrix LeBeau, or just B. I wonder if you can click and turn her. Nope. There's another one. So, the thing about Beatrix LeBeau is that, like, you start it and you don't realize how long you've been at it until you look back at the clock and it's 2 in the morning. she's the main character of the game. She's who you play as. And she is employed by the 7Z Corporation. And 7Z, they're the ones that flew her out here. They're the ones that provide her with any resources she needs for her backpack and stuff. And they are also the ones that peddle the plorts to other planets. So she's super nice. I love Bee so much. Nobody that you won't meet any other ranchers in person, but you will meet them through the ranch exchange over there, which is not ready to be opened up yet because we haven't actually gotten out into the range yet. So here are the backpack upgrades. Like I said, you can get a water tank, so you will technically have 5 inventory slots, but only one of them, the water tank, you can only fill up with water. You can't fill it up with anything else. Then you can also add a jetpack, extra health, extra power, and you can boost how much you can carry. So I'm gonna leave these little guys here. Chickadoos, which are just the baby chickens, they are not edible yet, so there's no point in throwing them in there until they become chickens. They won't become chickens in your inventory though, so you have to put up a coop and stick them in there, or you can just throw them out into the range and just come back when they're, just find other ones. So I'm hanging out over here because I wanted to show you the other ranch expansions. There's 4 technically, but you can only access 3 of them. So the first one is the Grotto. It's constant dark in there, so it's really good if you're gonna farm phosphor slimes, which you'll get to see once it gets dark in the game. They can only be farmed in darkness. They disappear in daylight. The second one, which I'm actually gonna run to, the second one is the lab. There's a barn back there where you can do science. And the slime science is actually a lot of fun. I'll try not to fall off the edge here and try to show you guys. You kind of get a glimpse of it back there. Oh, hello. My cat has just arrived. And then the last 2 are over here. No, I can. Hello, son. One moment. You're making my video editing hard. Hey, I love you, but you can't be up here right now. Come here, come on, and don't bite me again. There we go. Sorry, buddy, but now it's not a good time. Okay, so here's your 3rd ranch expansion, and I know I said there's 4, so I'll explain in a moment. The Overgrowth is the 3rd one. It's this really nice, lush, sort of, I wouldn't say jungly, it's more like plainsy, but through the Overgrowth there's access to another part of your ranch called the dock, and you can actually kind of see the docks from back here. If you go over here and look, well, I thought you could, maybe not from over here. There was some place where you could see the dock without actually having to go there. I don't remember. But you can't access the docks until you can access the Overgrowth, so. Yep. And of course, you have to pay 7Z to open up the rest of your ranch, so, capitalism. This game is about capitalism, but it's cute. So we're gonna head out into the actual world now. This part of the world's called the Dry Reef. I will slip up a lot and just call it the Far Far Range, but the Far Far Range is all of the places that you get to visit. It's kind of where you're living right now. So if you're playing this game and you see these H's, those are from the guy who used to own the ranch before you, Hobson. Here's what he has to say. I will try to open these for you guys as I go. Oh, hello. I really like Hobson's story. It's kind of sad, really, but you'll see. One of the best strategies to start out is to sort of free range ranch. You know, run around and pick you know, fruits and veggies up and give them to slimes and let them eat, and then just collect what they leave behind. So plorts are money, which is why you should not just leave them laying around if you can manage it. Once you actually start ranching more and have more of your own slimes, you don't really have to pick up plorts off the ground unless you don't have that kind of slime at your ranch, which can happen because I'll show you back at the plort market just how many different types of slimes there are. So I'm going over this wall to show you a couple different things. One, there's a treasure pod over here. Green treasure pods, you can't open any treasure pods yet. That's a thing that you can access later in the game. It's an upgrade to your backpack. The other thing I want to show you, well, there's a few things, I guess. So you see the ocean. You saw it at the back of my house too. This is not water. This is the slime sea, and if you fall in, you will fall unconscious, and it will make you sleep into the next day. But there's a ledge over here, so I'm gonna walk this way. The reason I came down here is for these. These are heartbeats. Oh, and there's also a box. Let's see, what can I do? That works. You see some of these like fountains throughout the maps. There's a purple treasure pod. Once you get a water tank, you can use those spigots to fill up your water tank. And that's fresh water. This is slime water, and you can't use that to like shoot slimes. So this is the way to get out of there. This way, I'm going to show you one of the fun mechanics of this game. Oh, I should have picked up that other pogo fruit. That's okay. This is a Gordo. Slimes come in 3 sizes. Just the regular small size, Largos, which are fusions of smaller slimes, and like if let's say a rock slime and a pink slime, let's say a rock slime ate a pink plort, it would become a pink rock Largo, and I'll show those to you later in just a minute actually. And then there's Gordos. Gordos are big, obviously, and they can't move around, so you don't have to worry about losing them, and they can't be ranched, they can't be sucked up, they're too big. But they are guarding things that they're sitting on. Some of the Gordos are sitting on keys, which you'll use to open doors. Some of the Gordos are sitting on teleporters. What is that? I don't know. Some of the Gordos are sitting on teleporters that can take you to other places on the map. I think that's kind of the only 2 things. They're either teleporters or keys. You can stand on top of them though. Pig slimes don't have a favorite food, so you just have to feed this guy 50 units of whatever, which I'm actually going to throw those 2 chickens at it. If you have like a tabby Gordo, you'll only have, and you get like 25 stony hens, that's only as many as you'll need to make it explode. Yes, they explode. They don't just stand up and walk away. Is it gonna do it? Have I overloaded it? Why? Was I too close to it? Well, it's trying. Something's gone wrong. Please don't tell me there's something wrong with my game. Oh no. I won't be able to tell. I'm just gonna hit stop recording. I'm gonna keep recording my audio because I can edit it later. Okay, it looks like everything's fine. Okay. Okay, everything's fine. The part of the video I just reviewed is kind of laggy, but that's okay. Aha! Here we go, I got it to work that time. Cool, so. Oh, I was going to show you guys other types of slimes. So I told you that phosphor slimes only come out at night. This is a pink phosphor largo. It was a phosphor slime probably that picked up a pink plort, because it looks like there's no other phosphors out here. This is a pink rock largo. They're very spiky, and they're painful to run into, and they do that spinny thing. So, you know, sometimes you have to stay out of the way. Or get hit. And kind of, there's not really a leveling system, but before you start to actually, like, upgrade your health and stuff, getting hit for 10 points of damage is pretty rough. So I managed to snag a rock slime, and I'm gonna go grab this little dude too. So I told you I'd open these, so here's another one. I'll go back here and show you these feral slimes. Anytime you're in the game and you see one of these little signs with the skull and crossbones, there's going to be feral slimes, which they're angry because they haven't eaten and they can't eat, I guess, on their own. Well, they can if you, like, throw food at them, but ow. That's what happens with feral slimes, but these ones can fly, so I'm going to go. They'll despawn eventually. It's not like, they're not like Minecraft zombies. They're not going to follow you. Oh no, not the carrot. They will despawn and leave everybody else alone. Oh, there's a phosphor slime. There's another rock slime, so I'm gonna grab that guy. Phosphor slimes are totally adorable, and I love them. But like I said before, you can only keep them in dark places. There is a dark shield upgrade to the corrals that you can do. I don't ever bother with that. I just wait until I can open up the grotto and just stick them in there, because it's already dark in there. And I personally don't like the way the dark shields look in the daylight. So, you know. I'll pick up these quartz. Sell them. It's a good idea to make a farm full of largos so you can feed them their favorite foods, and you don't have to worry about, because if you feed them their favorite foods, they plort twice as much. So pinks don't have a favorite, and poker fruit and carrots are not anybody's favorite. So just keep that in mind. But rock slimes, their favorite foods are heartbeats, which is what I've got a couple of. So we're gonna build a garden because I've got the money to do that. We're gonna stick a heartbeat in there, and eventually some will grow. There's other upgrades you can get, like nutrient soil, a sprinkler, and a scare slime to help scare the slimes away if you go for a more open range kind of rancher. So I'm gonna actually, it's not a good idea to do Largos yet because I don't have the money to put like high walls on. Oh, I can put high walls on. I don't have enough money for an air net, which is essential. But you know, with the high walls, I can just throw these guys in there. As long as I don't feed them, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I know what you're thinking, but Mars, don't you have to feed your slimes? Well, yeah, but like, not right now. I could wait until I have more money. That sounds barbaric, actually, but I promise it'll be okay. Slimes, in general, just these wild slimes don't go feral. Feral slimes spawn on their own. There is one exception. There are slimes called hunter slimes. Those slimes, when you make them Largos, they will immediately go feral and you have to feed them. And then if you don't feed them often enough, they will go feral again. And you have to feed them to make it stop. So yeah, the hunter slimes are the only ones with a hunger mechanic, but everybody else just, they'll get like angry, but they won't like do anything to hurt you. The feral slimes will, the hunter slimes. Oh no, okay. It's fine. This is what I needed. Did I get that plort? Can't tell. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to get some money. I'll show you guys the plort market because I said I would do that. If you're ever wondering what time it is in game, just look up to the top left-hand corner. It'll tell you how many days you've been playing and what the in-game time is. It'll also tell you if you have Star Mail, which I do have Star Mail that I need to open. It's from Casey, either Bee's partner that they left behind on Earth. I love Casey and Bee's story. It's sad. But why do you love it if it's sad? Well, it's because, you know, sad. So, taking a look at the plort market, you see over there on the left, the plorts of the slimes that we've already discovered. So that'll be, you know, pink, phosphor, rock, and tabby. I haven't actually shown you any tabby slimes yet, but technically we've been in an area where they can spawn. So we've technically discovered them. There's also this gold plort over here. There are gold slimes that are very, very rare. They will spawn sometimes, and if you hit them with any kind of food, so any type of fruit, vegetable, or meat, and meat is always chickens. There's no other, like, there's not like cows or anything here. It will drop one plort, and it's worth a lot of money. The other type of rare slime is the money cat slime. She doesn't have a plort. Lucky Cat does not have a plort because if you hit her with some meat, she will rain nubucks down upon you, and then she will disappear. So, no plort for her. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the Star Mail. It's from Casey. I love Casey. And I think Bee did too. I think the saddest thing about the whole thing with Bee and Casey is that you don't really get to write any letters back. I think it's implied that you are doing so, but because you don't actually like, you don't get to read the back and forth. There's no way for you to know if you're actually doing that. So I think it's sad that Casey's, it's kind of like Casey sending all of these letters and, you know, to their partner, and B's just never responding, and I just think that's sad. So this game does not make you sleep. Some games will force you to, like, go to bed. This game does not force you to do that. You can stay up for as many nights as you want with no repercussions. There's no exhaustion mechanics or anything like that. If you fall into the slime seat, or you take too much damage and drop down to 0, you will fall unconscious, and you will be taken back to your bed, and you will sleep until 6 a.m. the next morning. Ooh, look at all that plort. Like, you know, I don't recommend doing that, especially if you've got a big ranch, like all your stuff opened up and there's no, like, auto feeders or anything like that. There's a taffy slime. Oh no. If you fall asleep and your ranch is not being watched, which you're the only person who watches your ranch, your slimes will get upset because you weren't around to feed them. So, you know, try not to do that. I think... Okay, you hear that music change? That means that there's a tar around here somewhere. Tar is what happens when a Largo eats a plort that is not the same as one of the ones they're already fused with. That's weird. So slimes will not eat plorts that are the same as what they are. So, like, a rock slime's not going to eat another rock plort. You can't get, like, pure rock Largos or pure pink Largos. So the result of the, you know, fusion trying to fuse again creates a tar, which are, I'm not going to say they're carnivorous. They're omnivorous. They will eat other slimes to reproduce. If a tar eats a slime, it will shoot off, like, another glob of tar, which will become another tar. And the tar can decimate the population of a single area, but the nice thing is, once the food has run out, the tar will go away. So you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about tar being there all the time. It's sad to see a section go down to tar, but there's not a lot you can do sometimes. Sometimes it's just too much. Tar are vulnerable to water, which is what your water tank is for. And during the daytime, they're weaker than they are at night. So if tar form during the day, you usually just hit him with one, you know, just shot of water, and that should be enough to make him explode. If you are working around them at night, it might take a couple of shots to make them go away. If you don't have a water tank installed, it's also good if you can just suck them up and toss them into the sea. That will also make them go away. So the slimes come from the sea. If you see slimes pop up out of the ground, shit, I need a chicken. There's the lucky cat over there, and I don't have any chickens. This is how you get lucky cat. There she goes. You hear that jingling sound? She's right there. Sometimes you can get a second shot, but if I'd had another chicken, I probably could have gotten her again. But I didn't. I only had one, and I was lucky to get it because that pink slime was trying to eat it. Anyway, Lucky Cat, I love her so much, and I wish that I saw her more. She's like a goddess. Anyway, Lucky Cat, there's only one. And you're not ever gonna see like a pink Lucky Cat Largo. Like, that's not a thing. She does not sully herself with the masses. Excuse me. No. Anyway, the slimes come out of the slime sea. And so if you toss them back into the slime sea, they'll just pop up somewhere else. So don't ever feel bad about throwing them in. I think the slime sea purifies them, which is why throwing tar in there is not a bad thing, because it will separate out, you know, the bad stuff, and it will make them pure and just regular old little slimy dudes again. And then everything will be fine. So I just love this game so much, y'all. And I really, really hope that these videos, I say, having only made one so far, but I really hope that this will inspire you to go out and purchase the game for yourself and run around and do all sorts of fun slime things with your little slime buddies. I'm going to try to make these episodes short, but like I said earlier, it's really easy to get lost in time when you're playing these. Again, it has to do with the day cycle, I think, because I do the same thing with Minecraft, and that also has a day cycle. I keep hearing tar music, but there's no place for tar to be around here. I'm gonna go check back here. Let me check over here. Is there any tar over here? No. That's weird. I mean, it's good. We don't want any tar, but I don't know. The game is being a little funky. Also, I apologize for the quality, like the actual like video quality of this video. In order to actually get my thing to work, I had to turn down the output quality. So even though I'm recording in 1080, it's only coming out at 720, and that's because I am working on a laptop that doesn't want to do what I want it to. So the video might be a little laggy in places, and it's not the best quality, but hopefully it will be enough. So before I feed these guys, I'm gonna put an air net up because we're gonna get a lot of Largo action happening in here, I think. And they will kind of, the creation of Largos actually creates an upward burst of like energy, like that. And if I didn't have an air net on the cage, we would have ended up with slimes all over the place and plorts all over the place. That little dude's the last one. There we go. And the plorts that are left, I can suck up carefully because it's dangerous in that cage. It's very dangerous in that cage. Ooh, can't do that yet. One of the things you can do, and I don't know if this is an upgrade or not. Ow. If you're using a game controller, I don't know how it would work. But if you have a mouse, like I do, you can either press Q on your keyboard or click the center scroll button, and it will release a burst of air outwards from your backpack, which will cause, you can use it to push slimes away. And it's kind of helpful in situations like that where I don't have a plort collector yet. And I missed a pink plort because I got 10 blue ones and only 9 pink ones. We're gonna open this letter from Thora real quick, and then we're gonna do a ranch exchange, and then I think I might wrap it up. So Thora is one of the Thora is one of the other ranchers. I think that you guys are all on the same planet, because there are other ranchers that will talk about, you know, going to places that you can access in the game, but you never see any of the other ranchers, which I think is sad, because I'd really like to interact with some of them more than others. But this is Thora, and she's just this sweet little old lady. And she's asking us for 10 pink slimes and 6 hens, and we can do that in 22 hours and 50 minutes. And what she'll give us is 5 pink plort, 3 phosphor plort, 250 new bucks, and 10 carrots. So I think that's agreeable. One of the other things that I wish this game had is like a ranch exchange like thing that you could pop up in your map. So just making sure that's not a thing. You know, because sometimes I will leave the ranch exchange and be like, how many of what did I need? Like, you know, I'll remember what I need, but not just not how many. And all of the chickens have been wiped out. This is the problem with opening your ranch exchange later in the day, is that, like, nests, some of the nests have already been decimated by hungry slimes. The problem with, see, the first time I did this last night, I had a much easier request. Oh, no. Oh. Collecting 6 hens is hard. Especially if you don't have a jetpack on your backpack yet. Because I could collect them, but they're up there and I can't get up there. Although there is a trick. Oh, okay, that was fun. So that's how that works. Suck up a slime, jump, throw it down under you, and the bounce from that will cause you to high jump. So now I just need 1 more hen. So all these little chickadoos, but no hens. So I'm actually gonna stay up off the ground and walk over here, which I know I haven't taken you this way yet, so I'm sorry that I'm depriving you of the tunnel, but we'll come back through that way, I promise. There should be some chickens down here. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I don't want that, and I don't want that guy. Okay, now we're gonna run back to the ranch. And because we haven't gotten dash boots yet, of course there's a chicken right there. Anyway, because we don't have our dash boots yet, which is another thing that you can upgrade to, your energy is consumed very quickly by sprinting. Once you get dash boots, it will be consumed less when you sprint. And you can continue to upgrade your dash boots so that you can get farther with, you know, the same amount of energy. So here we go. We're gonna trade with Thora. It only took us 2 hours to get these things. Two, 19, 20, 3 hours, I guess. Time passes very quickly. I choose to believe that it's hours and not minutes that you're spending out here. But you never know. So I'm gonna toss these guys some carrots because they all seem to be hungry. I'm keeping a few more in here than I usually do. I try not to keep more than 4 Largos in a cage. Because I think it's harder for them to all get fed properly if you've got an auto feeder set up, which I don't currently, but you know, I'm gonna put a plort collector up there because I can afford one right now, and that's super helpful because you see that it's like trying to suck up, which for some reason didn't work. It collects the plorts for you, so I don't have to walk in there and try to get what I need. Sometimes you can exchange more than once in a day. I think that because this was your first exchange with Thora, that you're not going to be able to do that. But I just try to hang on to plorts just in case, like, Mochi Miles wants any. Mochi Miles is another one of the ranchers that you work with via range exchange, or range exchange, sorry. And she's the daughter of a tech magnate. She's kind of hoity-toity, but I think she's just lonely. And I love her a lot. I think I'm actually gonna finish it here. I'm gonna hit sleep till morning so you guys can see what happens there. And return to ranch. So yeah, nothing stupendous. I don't have a lot of slimes, and I just recently fed them, so it's not like I'm worried about them like getting super hungry and like angry. I am going to see if I can put an auto feeder on here. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna put these heartbeats into the auto feeder. It's got 3 different speeds. I always use the slowest speed, and then sometimes I feel like that's too fast, but you never know. Okay, so thank you all for joining us for our first game of Slime Rancher. Hopefully everything recorded correctly. And I hope that you'll come back for the next episode. Thanks so much.